As a publisher, you have some very unique challenges ahead of you as you implement an SEO program for your content. The first thing you're going to have to get used to is to think differently from the way you've been trained in writing and presenting information and getting people's attention. The main reason is that Google isn't nuanced. Google doesn't know the difference between a humorous headline that uses words that may not be relevant or double meanings or things like that. You see, when you write a nuanced headline, like we've been trained to do in writing, we want to get people's attention, we want to present maybe a humorous twist to it, or something that's slightly different in order to get people's attention. Unfortunately, that just doesn't work with Google. One example of this is a financial publisher who published an article entitled, "Why Brazil is So Hot." Now, this really doesn't work for Google because it doesn't contain any keywords that were relevant to the content of the article. So in reality, the headline was misleading according to the information that was contained in the article. And so the ability for this article to rank well for the actual content of investment opportunities in Brazil, it didn't happen because the title, the most important element of that page, was too nuanced in order to provide any value of rankings. Now, on the other side of this, another publisher wrote an article called Holiday Time Travel, and it was ideas about travel that people could take with their families during the holidays and short trips that they could take in the car. Unfortunately, when they looked at their analytics, they saw that this article was one of the most popular articles on the site, and traffic had increased dramatically to this article. They were excited about that until they saw the keywords that were sending people to this article. Apparently, that article was ranking very high in Google for the phrase time travel. So they were getting a lot of people finding the article for something that it wasn't really about. And so as a publisher, you need to be aware of how search engines will view the title of your article. And that title is the most important text field on that page, and it sets the stage for the rest of the information that's going to come. One thing that you can do that will immediately increase your search engine rankings is to make a difference between the page title and the headline, the H1 of the page. Here's an example at time.com where the page title, which is in the top of the browser bar, is the exact same title as being found for the article. So the H1 and the page title are duplicated, and what that does is it takes the two most important text fields you have on the page and it duplicates them. Instead, the Wall Street Journal takes a very different approach, and it's very effective. It says the same thing in two different ways, using two different keywords and two different thoughts. And in doing this, they're both related. They both contribute information that both the search engine and the reader can process. And in doing so, in the search engine results, the page title will show up in the blue underlined text, and the headline of the article will show up in the description. And so it gives you that added punch to attract searchers that this is the article that they want that will answer their question. So the first rule is not to duplicate the title and the H1. For one client, we did that, and it was the only thing that had been done to that site in a few months. Changing just the title and the H1 to be different, challenging the writers to create a title as well as a headline for their articles, resulted in the search traffic doubling to the site in just 1 month. It makes that much of a difference. Another reason is because it increases the long-tail search terms. You're increasing the relevance, and you're increasing the amount of terms that you are relevant for. Now, something else that is critical for publishers is in showing related content. People that come to your publication to read an article are also interested to know what else has been written, what's popular, and what's being commented on. Showing those as part of the layout increases what we call the social proof. That is, that people tend to do what they see other people doing. When you show that these are new articles, the most popular articles, the most commented articles, or the most forwarded articles. That lets people know that other people find these valuable as well, and they will click on those. Make sure that they are visually appealing and that they're findable, and that will immediately improve the engagement of people on your site. I'm going to use the Wall Street Journal as an example of this again. Across the top of the article are content tabs with different multimedia content. Down the right-hand side, they give their subscriber content a healthy piece of real estate because that's still what makes them money. So you need to make it attractive and make it clear. Make sure that you are pulling people in to do things that make you money. After the subscriber-only content, you can see that there's related content, most popular content, recent, and then the author information. Publishers, it's all about the content. Everything you do, every headline, subheading, page title is going to be used to compete with other publishers writing about the same thing. So ensure that your content is direct and clear using keywords, and you're going to have to watch the nuanced titles. Evaluate your calls to action and make sure that you are giving enough real estate and enough clarity to the actions that make you money, such as subscriptions. If you don't get the subscription, make sure you get an email address. Give that promise of value, of good information, in order to get that email address, because then you can continue marketing to them until you do get their subscription. Allow people to interact with the content by seeing the related content that's there and keep drawing them through the site to persuade them that you are a source for the information that they need.